Hey everyone, I'm hoping that you can see my front board already because that's where we are. This video is going to be very much an experiment because I'm using my own webcam camera. But essentially, welcome to your first e-learning day video. So this should be the second day. First day you would have had me, you would have heard a lot about the course, about me, and I would have been learning about you. But today we are getting started on material. Basically, what we're doing today is a little bit of review for Algebra 1. We're going to be working on the notes for the two-step solving that I passed out. And whatever we don't finish is basically yours to finish. And one way or another, you're going to submit work to me, hopefully. Please do. That's going to be the first step towards your passing of this class. The very first step, aside from showing up on the first day. So, basically, we're going to walk through this a little bit. I'm going to do a number of examples. I'm probably going to do 3 or 4 on the first page. I'll leave the others for you. I'm going to walk through this, and I'm going to show all my steps. I'll go through this one in a little bit more detail, perhaps, or maybe a little bit more open-ended, shall we say, and we'll go from there. Essentially, what we're reviewing today, we're talking about variables, we're talking about equations again, and, of course, solving for variables. First things first, remind me, first thing we want to do, the overall idea that we want to have when we're solving for a variable is to do what? Get the variable by itself. So essentially all we're trying to do is unravel these equations till we have x or y equals some number or expression. Now if you want to, one thing you can do to start this off is you can draw a line that will basically divide this into 2 halves. You've got a left side and a right side. And yes, the left side is larger, but essentially, it says that one side is equal to the other, so they're balanced in that regard. Now, we need to start unraveling the left side so that we get x all by itself. That's our variable, x. So we want to get it by itself. How we do that? We have to do inverse operations. Remember PEMDAS, right? Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Those are the operations, and we're going to be using them to kind of unravel this. The opposite of multiplication is division, and vice versa. So the opposite of division is multiplication. Likewise, addition and subtraction are opposites. So we're going to use these opposites to help unravel the variables. First things first, you want to get rid of anything that's not directly next to. See, this 2 is directly next to the x, so it's like that. So what do I see? I see that there's a 5. There's a minus 5 to be exact. Now I want that number to go bye-bye. So what do? Instead of subtracting 5, I add it. And to keep the balance that there is, what I do to one side, I do to the other. Right? And then on the left side, that 5 goes bye-bye. You're almost turning into a fun game. Can you say bye-bye? Yep. There it goes. So, on the left side, we've got 2x left. On the right side, we have 11 plus 5. What does that equal? 16. So we know that 2 times some number x equals 16. Now, hopefully, you're thinking it already. We need to get rid of the 2, and it's going to reduce the 6. Why? Because this 2x is the equivalence of 2 times x. And what's the opposite of multiplication? Like I just said, division. So we're going to divide by 2. This 2 goes by, it goes away. And now I'm left with x is equal to 16 divided by 2. Well, what is 16 divided by 2? It's 8. Cool beans. So this is how we're doing it. Remember, it's all about getting the variable alone and using inverse operations. I know you guys have seen this before. All right, so go with me through number 2. I'm going to draw a line down. This will give me the 2 halves. I have the left side. Heck, I'll even put an L over here. Left side, right side. Now notice where the variable is. The variable is on the left side. We need to get that by itself. So we need to get rid of the 2, and we need to get rid of the 6. And in that order. So I have 6y plus 2. We've got to get rid of the 2 first because it's not directly with the y. So plus 2, how do I get rid of plus 2? Minus 2. Remember, we're talking about the opposite. So we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. And on the left side, that 2 goes bye-bye. So now, all I have left is 6y is equal to 50 minus 2, it's 48. So now 6y is equal to 48. Yeah, it's focusing. I know I saw that. Just like we had over here, I had a 2x equals 16. So it's 2 times x. This is the same as 6 times y. So what am I going to do to get the y by itself? If this is 6 times y, divide. Division is the opposite of multiplication. And that 6 goes by. So y is equal to 48 divided by 6. What is 48 divided by 6? It's 8. So isn't that ironic? Both of these had the same answer. They're totally unrelated, but it was just a coincidence that they had the same answer. Is this starting to ring some bells? Right? Getting the variable by itself using opposite operations or inverse operations. Hopefully so. All right. Let's move on to the next page. Perfect. I'm glad it worked this time. We're going to do the same thing. Right? Divide this in half. Now I've got a left side, right side. Right? You want to think to yourself, all right, where's the variable? Find your variable first. That's a good first step. There it is. It's on the left side. So we need to get rid of every other thing aside from that w. Right? This will be the last example that I do with you. The other 3 on the front will be yours to do. I trust you. I believe you can do this. If you start by drawing this line and then locating your variable, that's a good start. So with this 5, what goes with the w? 5. Does the 1 go with it? No. Because the 1 is not directly associated with that w, we get rid of it first. Now notice it's a negative. It's a minus. It's a minus 1. So how do we get rid of a minus 1? We add 1. And what we do to one side, we do to the other. I'm going to say that a lot. What we do to one side, we do to the other to keep the balance. All right? So then this one goes by. I have 5w is equal to 30. Well, that's nice. Remember, this 5w is essentially the same as 5 times w. That closeness right there symbolizes multiplication. So 5w is equal to 30. Now how do I get that w alone if it's being multiplied by the 5? Well, what's the opposite of multiplication? Division. You got to think about those opposites. So I'm going to divide by 5. This 5 goes away, and I'm left with w is equal to 30 divided by 5, which is 6. Awesome. W equals 6. I'm hoping that these are ringing some bells. I'll tell you what, I'm so confident in you right now that I'll leave the last 3 examples to you. When we come back in class on the next time, if you need to ask questions about number 4, I should do this. If you have questions about 4 or on your own A and B, we can answer those in class. But numbers 4 and the on your own part on the front page, those are yours to do. So go ahead, if you need to pause this video, do it now. And then come right on back, because we're going to go on to 5 and 6. All right. So more of the same, really. Only this time what we see is we see fractions. Well, we can undo those. And I'll get to that. Same idea that we've been doing. I can divide this into 2 pieces. So I'm going to cut the line. I'm going to cut this equation, and I'm going to put a left side, right side. They're balanced. Right? All right, where's my variable here? Oh, it's f. All right, so we've located our variable. Is it directly associated with something? Yes, it is. It is directly associated with that 6 because it's in a fraction. So there's that. Is the 5? No. Because the 5 is not directly associated with that f, it means we can get rid of the 5 first. So if that's a plus 5 or adding 5, what do we do to get rid of it? Subtract 5. And what we do to one side, do to both. I have a feeling some of you are laughing at me there because I'm going to keep saying that. All right, so these 5s go bye-bye, and now I have f over 6 is equal to 8 minus 5. What's 8 minus 5? It's 3. This step, there's a reason that these are two-step equations. There's only one more step to solve this, and I think you might know what it is. What does a fraction symbolize? Well, hopefully you're saying division. This is f divided by 3. That's what this bar means. I'll even put it. Divide. Divide. F divided by 6. How do we do division? Opposite operation of division, multiplication. So let's multiply by 6. And what I do to one side, I do to both. So, 3 times 6 is 18. Guess what? This 6 cancels with this 6. F is all that's left. F equals 16. How nice is that? Number 6 over here is the exact same way, only different numbers. Now, if you have a calculator, all of a sudden this becomes easy. So let's do it. Let's divide it in half. Cut it right down the middle. Left, right. Locate your variable. In this case, it's amazing because it's a v. Is there anything directly associated with that v? Yes, there is. It's a 3. It's another fraction, so it means division. So I've got v divided by 3 minus 4 equals 7. Nice thing is that 4 is not directly associated, so we can get rid of it. So let's do that. How do you get rid of a minus 4? Add. So we're going to add 4 and do it to both sides. So that way this goes away. Now I've got v over 3 is equal to, what's 7 plus 4? Hopefully you're saying it is 11. It is 11, right? And once again, I've got v over 3 is equal to 11. Now what does this bar mean again? Division. It means division. V divided by 3. So how do I undo division? Hopefully you're saying multiplication. So I need to multiply by what's in the denominator, in this case the 3. Forgot to mention that. Multiply by the denominator, because this being on top of this will cancel out. And what I do to one side, I do to the other. These 3's cancel out. V drops down. And 11 times 3 is 33. So v is equal to 33 in this problem. Is it easy? I bet it is. I hope it is. You guys can do this. I know you can. If you need to pause the video to get this, go ahead. If you need to go back, go ahead and do that too. Because we're moving on. I know I've got to erase this stuff and it's kind of boring, but hey, I'll tell you what, I can fill the time with a great joke, believe it or not. What do you call a group of orcas playing instruments? An orchestra. Ha! Yes, I am proud of myself. Thank you very much. Let's see. There should be a total of 4 problems left. I'll tell you what, since I'm so confident in your ability to do this, I'm only going to do number 7, and then 8, and the other 2 will be left to you. So we are literally cutting the workload in half. I will have done 6 examples with you. You'll have to do the other 6, but I'm so confident in you guys. So, same process. Let's start by cutting our equation in half. I'm going to do that. Left side, right side. Where's my variable? Oh, look, it's right here. So I've got a W. All right, anything directly associated with that variable? The answer being yes, there's a 4. What about that 8? It's not directly related, is it? So the 8, how do I get rid of it? Is it positive or is it negative? Well, it's positive, so that means we're basically adding 8. If it's positive, it's adding. So I need to undo that. And to do that, I'm going to do subtraction. So subtract 8. Then these 8s go bye-bye. I'm left with W over 4 is equal to 11 minus 8. What's 11 minus 8? It's 3. Once again, this is W divided by 4. How do I undo division? Do multiplication. So I'm going to multiply by the denominator. This is basically on top, this is on bottom. What I do to one side, I do to the other. And these cancel out, leaving me with W is equal to 3 times 4, which is 12. See, simple enough. We're starting out the year on an easy note, hopefully. Hopefully you're finding it that way. Like I said, I believe in you guys. You guys can do the other 3 below this. Hopefully, maybe you even pause the video and did the 3 that were above these 3. But this should be enough to get you going. If not, we can have time for questions in class next. That's it for today. I'll see you guys next time.